Hey, what's up guys, Minato Max here. Today we're going to be discussing the unfortunate Telltale games shutting down. I just want to say, if any employees watching this, I'm sorry you guys lost your job. I'll be praying for you guys. So basically, if you haven't heard, Telltale is shutting down. There's only 25 people working on this Minecraft story mode coming to Netflix. I have no idea what that is. And there's a lot of rumors about the Walking Dead final season gonna get canceled. There's a lot of reports saying that, so we really don't know what's happening. But I really want to just make a video of the sales of all the Walking Dead, all the Telltale games, like most of the Telltale games, physical sales. I couldn't find the digital sales, so I just want to let you guys know straight off the bat that I could not find the digital sales for the games, so it's only going to be physical sales, and we're going to be discussing the sales, see why this happened, stuff like that. So we're going to start off with The Walking Dead. This is the game that pretty much started Telltale. I think we all can agree that, well, it didn't start Telltale, but it's what made people know about Telltale. So let's start with the sales. So I have the PS4, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PlayStation Vita, and the PC sales. I put the PlayStation, Xbox, PC up top, and the last generation consoles on the bottom. So we can see it sold pretty well. Remember, this is not digital included. I bet digital sold so much more than this. We can see the PlayStation 4 version almost sold 500,000 copies. Xbox One version, it could have done better. PC version, this is the physical PC, so it doesn't include the Steam sales and all that. If we look at the bottom, we can see that the PlayStation 3 version sold 0.82, which is pretty much 820,000. So that's pretty good. That's not even with the digital. That's pretty good for a game like what Telltale, what their studio is. That's pretty good. Same with the Xbox 360. That sold pretty well too. 0.76. It's pretty good. PS Vita 0.15. I'm sure it sold pretty well on the digital side. I could see it being around this number though. I guess we'll hopefully figure out the digital sales. Also, I must mention, there was a iOS version, mobile version for all these games I'm about to talk about. I could not find there were some that I could find, but I figured I shouldn't include it since I couldn't find other of the other games, iOS sales and stuff like that. So just remember there was an iOS version of all these games and stuff like that. So this game, I guess, sold pretty well in my opinion. I think everyone thinks that. So let's move on to Walking Dead Season 2. This game was also an amazing game. I think we all can agree. The endings and everything. Getting sidetracked. Let's talk about the sales. So, what we have here is the PlayStation 4 version. I put the PlayStation Vita up top in this video also. Because, yeah, I couldn't find the PC sales, so I just figured PlayStation Vita could go up top there. So let's look. 0.29. It's pretty good. It's not that great, but I'm sure the digital is what really kicked off this game. 0.14 million on 0.14 on the Xbox One version. It's a big drop if we look at the other versions. Actually, I think it actually did better on the physical side, Season 2, than Season 1 did. PlayStation Vita, not much of a drop there. If we look at the sales compared from the first season. PlayStation 3 version, however, there was a massive drop right there, 0.19. That was a massive drop physical-wise. And Xbox 360 version, 0.10. That was also a very, very massive drop. But again, I think this game probably made it to 1 million copies in total with digital. I think that's what I heard. I wish I could have found the sales so we could look over that, but yeah, I guess on the physical side, this could be considered a flop. I don't know. I'll let you guys in the comments discuss that. I guess we'll move on to The Walking Dead New Frontier. A lot of people hate this game, but I'm going to be honest. I love this game. I love how we get to look at different characters than just Clementine. And I think what Telltale was trying to do with this game was they were about to end Clementine's story, and they wanted to make a new main character that people would love. That way, they could still continue the Telltale series, which people didn't like the Garcias. So that's why we got the final season. So let's look at the sales for this. This game only released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and it released on Steam. I couldn't find the sales for that. And it also released on iOS. This isn't really that great. But I think this game probably sold... From what I'm hearing, this game did not sell digitally well either. So I expect this is around the same numbers we got for digital. So, oh, sorry for the background noise. If we look at this is not that great. It's kind of like the Season 2 sales also, kind of around the same number of this. Yeah, I guess this is one of the reasons why they noticed why people didn't like the Garcias, because, you didn't get to play as Clementine and stuff like that. But yeah, this is unfortunate. I just want to know, you guys in the comments below, I want to know your opinion on the Walking Dead New Frontier. This is kind of off topic of the Telltale games and everything, but I want to know you guys' opinion on this game, because I think this is one of the most interesting games they put out, that Telltale has put out. And yeah, we're going to move on to Minecraft Story Mode. Now this game right here, I've played it, I liked it, it was okay, wasn't enough for me to get Season 2, but this game was a massive success for Telltale. If we look, almost 1 million copies for the PlayStation, almost 1 million copies with the Xbox version. The Nintendo Switch version, which is the red right here, sold 0.36 mil. Sorry. I think that's pretty good for the Nintendo Switch, because this was one of those early games that came out around when the Nintendo Switch came out. So this is actually, I think, pretty good for the Nintendo Switch, since it was not really a system that was out that long. And we gotta remember, this doesn't include digital sales. I bet it sold pretty well digitally too. The PC version, I think, right here, yeah, up top, physically sold pretty well, looks like. Would be interesting to see how it sold on Steam. I think it sold probably around close to 1 million, I would guess. I don't know. I'm not really good at this stuff, so... If we look down at the PlayStation 3 sales, sold more than the PlayStation 4, and almost 1 million copies. That's really good. This was a massive success for Telltale. And if we look over here, below the Xbox One version, this is the Xbox 360 version, that sold 1.20 million copies. That's really good, especially the fact that this is a game that came out around when the PlayStation 4, Xbox One came out. That's pretty good. I think that's actually amazingly good for Telltale. Over here, 0.07. This is the Wii U version. 70,000 copies were sold for this. I guess that's kind of expected. It's the Wii U. You're not going to get much out of the Wii U. It's just the Wii U. That's how it is. Yeah. So I would say this was a pretty good success for Telltale. Now, if we look over at the Minecraft Season 2, if we look at the sales for that, yeah, this is bad. Massive drop compared to the first season. PlayStation 4, 0.10, 100,000 copies. That's what it is. 260,000 copies on the Xbox One. I'm not really sure how much it costs to make a Telltale game. It's not like a big AAA title. So this could be good for Telltale. Like, they might have made money back on this, but looking and see how when it's closing down, I'm assuming this was a flop for them. And yeah, I noticed that this game was announced like 2 weeks before it was going to come out. I feel like this was just trying for them to get a cash grab so they can keep their company alive. It definitely didn't work out for them. Got the PC version, the physical. I guess that was pretty good. That's actually pretty trash, actually. But yeah, and over here it came out on the Xbox 360. But when I was looking, it never came out on the PlayStation 3, which I thought was kind of weird. But 0.08. That's a big drop from the over 1 million copies they sold on the Xbox 360. I'm kind of confused why this didn't sell well. I thought this would have sold well, knowing that the first game came out. I don't think it was very much advertised also, that could play in. But this was definitely, I consider, a flop for Telltale. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, if this was a flop or not. I'm going to have to say it was a flop, though. Okay, we're moving on to Game of Thrones. Now, this game, if we look at the sales, did not sell well for Telltale at all. Yeah, didn't even reach the 100,000 copies. That's pretty, trash. That's what, yeah. Digitally, I'm going to assume this didn't sell well. I think I heard from former Telltale employees when I was doing research on this video that this didn't sell well. And I guess that explains why you guys never got a Season 2. I never played the Game of Thrones game. This is the only Telltale game. Actually, I don't have Minecraft Season 2. These are the two only Telltale games I never bought. I honestly don't care about Game of Thrones. Yeah, this is getting sidetracked. I'm so sorry. We look over here at the sales. It's not good. Yeah. This is pathetic for Telltale. I feel bad. But I guess this kind of explains why the company went out of business. If we look at some of these newer, well, actually, Game of Thrones came out in 2014, but once we get to the newer games, you're going to see a massive drop compared to the older games, and I'm going to tell you why in just a couple minutes. So let's move on to Batman. Batman, the Telltale series. This is an amazing series that Telltale came out with. Fortunately, I guess, didn't really sell well. I don't know. See, the problem is, I don't know if this is really good for how much money that is spent on a Telltale game. I wish I would have known before making that video. This could be considered good, but if we compare it to their other games, this isn't really considered that great. Actually, it's better than Game of Thrones. And yeah, so let's look over here. PlayStation 4 sold 0.19. 190,000 copies. That's pretty good for the PlayStation 4. I mean, if we look at their other titles, it's not really that great, but I'm saying if we look at the other titles. Xbox, not even 100,000 copies. That's a little bit disappointing for Telltale. Nintendo Switch. I found it interesting that this sold over 100,000 copies, because this also came out around the time when the Switch came out. Well, actually, it was a couple months later after the Switch came out, but I think this is considered good for Telltale, since I think around the time this game came out, the Switch was maybe around 6 or 7 million Switches sold. I think this could be considered a success for Telltale. But I would just have to see. PlayStation 3 version sold better than the Xbox One version, 0.12, 120,000 copies. That's, I guess good. No, well, actually, that's kind of bad for the Xbox One. I don't like the Xbox One, so yeah, that's another video for another day. Yeah, this isn't really good. Xbox 360 version pretty much sold the same as the Xbox One version, which, okay, that's not good if we look at the other sale games that sold well. Yeah, I guess we gotta remember, we don't have the Steam sales, we don't have the digital sales. This game could have been a success. That's why they made a Batman Enemy Within a Season 2, which we're about to get into now. If we look at the sales, this is pathetic. Not even 100,000 copies on the physical side. And I doubt I was looking at some of the reports about how Telltale was closing down. I saw a report that was saying that this game right here was a commercial failure, which there wasn't many commercials for this game. I think a lot of the newer Telltale games did not get really well when it comes to the commercial side. And I think they did terrible with the promotion for their Telltale games, which I think is another reason why the company failed. Which we're going to go down to why the company failed after we look at all these sales and everything. So let's move on to Guardians of the Galaxy. This was an amazing Telltale game. I hate to see that it didn't really sell well. There was supposed to be a Nintendo Switch version of this game coming out. I think that's probably canceled since everything else is probably canceled. But, yeah, this didn't really sell well either. I mean, 120,000 copies, that's, I guess, I mean, it's pretty much the same as their newer games. If you notice, their newer games are selling less than their older games, which we'll go into detail later. Xbox One version, 50,000 copies. That's really disappointing because Telltale, yeah, we'll get into them later. Yeah, I guess we'll just move on to the next game, Tales from the Borderlands. So, unfortunately, I couldn't find the sale numbers for this, but a lot of former Telltale employees, a lot of the Gearbox Studio employees have said that this game sold terribly. And there's a lot of behind-the-scenes drama with this game, which explains why there's not a Season 2. The whole behind-the-scenes drama is a whole mystery. There's a couple voice actors that have said that's not even a part of this game. It said that there was some big behind-the-scenes drama that happened. So I'm kind of curious to know how this game sold, because if it didn't sell that well, then, yeah, we'll just have to see. So, now we're going to talk about Telltale games. Let's talk about why it failed. It's because people are used to the whole make your choice system when it comes to Telltale. If you notice, let's be honest, the whole choose your make your choice and everything, it all comes out to the same ending. There's no way to save Lee, and I think people are starting to realize that they were just getting bored of the system because it was predictable. You'll have the same ending no matter what. And they made games like The Walking Dead Michonne. Like, what was that? Nobody cared about The Walking Dead Michonne. It was trash. I actually liked it, but it was trash. It was just an easy cash grab for Telltale, and people were starting to realize that. That's why I feel bad, because a lot of their newer games, like Batman Enemy Within and The Walking Dead Final Season, I just want to mention, I couldn't find the numbers for the Walking Dead Final Season, so, yeah. A lot of their newer games were actually making you pay attention to what choices you make. Your choices legit actually mattered in Batman Enemy Within, in the final season of Walking Dead, which really sucks, because if they would have just originally did that before, I don't think this would have never happened for Telltale. There would have never been a lost interest in the games of Telltale games, and it's really disappointing because they were an amazing company. They were not, like, if we're not counting Nintendo, this was my favorite gaming company. They made such a creative system. They just failed to do it at the end. They just kept doing the same, like, ending. You couldn't get a different ending. Season 2, Walking Dead. Let's use that as an example. Alright. You get to save either Kenny or Jane. Season 3, they die instantly in the first episode. It really just didn't make your choice matter in the end. It was really pointless. What was the point? And there is a way to, keep Jane or Kenny alive by leaving them behind. And you could argue that in the final season, they could somehow show up. But let's be real. It doesn't matter, because our choices never mattered in the game. Like, there was a lot of stuff. Like Ben. Let's use Ben from The Walking Dead. There's your choice where you can save him, and then, boom, he's dead next episode. Remember Sarah from The Walking Dead? You could save her in episode 4 of season 2, and then she still dies in that same episode. There's a lot of stuff that happened that people were starting to notice, and that's what made them lose interest in the Telltale. And it stinks because they learned from their lessons, I think, in Batman The Enemy Within when that game came out. Because there's a lot of choices. You get to make your own Joker. Now, Joker, okay, spoiler, Joker still is a villain, where you can make him a hero or villain, but in the end, he fails to be a hero, and then becomes he thinks he's a hero, but yeah. The way that system worked was amazing. They kept that going for 5 episodes, and if they would have kept that momentum up for their other games, like the Walking Dead series, all the other stuff, it was, they also introduced, I think, way too many characters in the 3rd season of Walking Dead. This is kind of off topic. I don't think a lot of people didn't like some of the newer characters they introduced because they didn't really spend time developing them. And yeah, it stinks, and it stinks that we might not have a complete season 4 of The Walking Dead, because it seems like that game is canceled, and I don't know how Telltale is going to even be able to do a refund, because it seems like they have no money. And all they're doing right now, according to all the information sources and everything, is that they're working on the whole Minecraft story mode for Netflix, which kind of sounds interesting. Netflix using games and everything. Are we going to be able to play games on Netflix? Okay, that's kind of off topic. But yeah, I hate it for Telltale. I mean, if we look at some of these sales, like the Batman game, it was really bad. And I hope the former employees find a job. There's people out there using the hashtag Telltale job. And somehow, when the employees is watching this video, just look at that hashtag. I'm sure you can find something. I'll be praying for the employees. But this is Monado Max. I know this was a very unusual video on my channel. I'm using a Nintendo channel. If you liked what you saw, this was a really quick video I had to make. I'm sorry the whole pictures are all messed up and everything. I found a better way of using this program I'm using, and yeah. There's going to be more videos on my channel. I know there's not been that many, but videos are coming. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, comment. See you guys next time. See you guys.